Mark Twain once said, "History doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes." To put it simply, the abolitionist movement did not bring a permanent end to slavery. Although slavery isn't as dehumanizing and brutal as it used to be, it is still a problem that prevails in the modern world. It is currently estimated that up to 45 million people are enslaved across 167 countries, with the Democratic Republic of Congo being one of them. In fact, it is estimated that over 870,000 people are enslaved in the DRC. Multiple forms of slavery exist within the country, with the most prevalent being child labor, sex slavery, and forced marriages. The Democratic Republic of Congo is considered a Tier 2 country on the Trafficking in Persons report. This means that although the Congolese government doesn't fully meet the TPVA's minimum standards, they are taking action to meet those standards. The Democratic Republic of Congo is an incredibly poor country located in Central Africa, and an estimated 73% of its citizens live on less than $1.90 a day. However, their economy largely relies on mining, and they are incredibly rich in minerals, specifically gold, cobalt, and copper. Incidentally, the DRC produces about 60 to 70% of the world's cobalt. Because of this, the demand for slavery is high, with men and children being the main target in the mining industry. As of May 2021, an estimated number of 40,000 children are being forced to work in mines under dangerous conditions and collect cobalt. In fact, you might be shocked to find out that child labor is fueling electric cars. Whenever cobalt is extracted from mines, kids touch this toxic chemical with no protection after spending the past few hours working with no breaks and little food. The cobalt extracted by underage workers later goes on to fuel vehicles. Corporations are making billions per year, while children who work hours a day earn little to no money. Whether they get forced into it or simply have to work to feed their families and have no other choice, the conditions are horrible and these workers suffer immensely. Their days are long. They work for a minimum of 12 hours, go into deep underground shafts without any protection, touch and breathe in toxic chemicals, only to earn as little as $1 to $2 a day. In the capital city of Kinshasa, Sky News has reported two shocking individual cases of exploited workers. The first one being Dorson, an 8-year-old boy who is forced to work long hours in the mines. Every day, he risks a beating if he messes up slightly. However, after these long hours and hard work, Dorson isn't guaranteed any food, since he hasn't eaten for 2 days. Dorson himself says, "When I'm working here, I'm suffering. My mother, she's already dead and I have to work all day and my head hurts me." A couple of kilometers away, Makumba Mateba was forced to dig a 15-meter tunnel with 3 of his friends. Pounds of rocks have been removed by hand and there is no support available when going down the tunnel. In addition, workers aren't provided with protective equipment for their hands or heads. At the bottom of the shaft, liters of dirty water can be seen. Makumba, being thirsty after working long hours, would usually drink this water. However, after a couple of months, multiple health problems began to show, including a huge tumor he developed on his throat. However, women also appear to be victims of slavery in the DRC, with the most common forms being forced marriages and sex slavery. In regards to forced marriages, these women are typically abducted, raped, and forced to marry someone they do not know with no chances of escaping. On the other hand, forced marriages can be set up by their families, specifically their fathers. They set their daughter up in order to pay off a debt. Not only does this target older women, but also teenage girls. These women have to spend the rest of their lives with a man they hate, have to do as he says, most likely go through abuse, and have very slim chances of leaving them. The Congolese government has stepped up a few times in an attempt to eliminate modern slavery. A law that was recently passed says that if a military or police official is found to be involved with human trafficking, they are held accountable. In addition, a law that was passed in 2006 specifically prohibits sex slavery and trafficking, as well as child and forced prostitution, promising 10 to 20 years of imprisonment for those who are found guilty. Besides this, the Free the Slaves program also seems to be involved and are constantly educating the Congolese on their rights as well as working with local groups. They also take steps towards gender equality and attempt to help women who have been victims of sex slavery or forced marriages. Free the Slaves also works with a local group in the DRC named Justice pour tous, which means justice for all. This NGO was founded in 1997, and their main goal is to support vulnerable citizens as well as minorities. They strive to make people respect others' civil rights. Recently, they have been taking steps to raise awareness on modern slavery in the country by informing Congolese citizens about the monstrosity taking place in their country. This action taken in recent years to eliminate modern slavery in the DRC have shown to be effective, since they have upgraded from being a Tier 3 country to a Tier 2. Tier 3 means that the country's government does not meet the TPVA's minimum standards and are not putting in effort to do so, and show little to no concern about modern slavery in the country. But why? Why is this happening? Why are more than 45 million people around the world trapped in the horrors of slavery? Like Kevin Bales said, one of the reasons why modern slavery is such a big issue worldwide is simply because of economic gain. You trick someone into working for you for free and you earn thousands and thousands of dollars in return. Basically, you force someone into working for hours and go through hazardous and dehumanizing work while you fully benefit. But how can we stop this atrocity from happening? Well, there are many things we can do as individuals to help fight modern slavery. First, we should properly educate ourselves and try to inform those around us. We can raise awareness through the use of social media, protests, and campaigns. It is encouraged to donate as much money as possible to organizations that strive to end slavery. However, the most impactful and effective thing we can do is if you ever suspect a case of modern slavery, report it immediately. Better safe than sorry. We must fight today for tomorrow's freedom.